What new chairs? Oh, these office chairs. All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's good to see everybody this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now in the hands of our city clerk, Ms. Lisa Carroll.
This is the pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, July 22nd. We have approval of minutes from July the 15th.
Any issues, anyone? Okay.
Appeals, we have requests for a waiver of the noise ordinance on December the 28th from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Airport Boulevard. July the 26th from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Elmira Street.
Any issue, Penn and Carroll?
Actually, I think the one on Airport Boulevard is in District 2. When I Googled I put the address in and it had District 2. Unless something recently just changed.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any issue, Carroll? Okay.
Public hearings today is the public hearing to consider rezoning property located at 5945 6000 and 6030 Range Line Road and 5933 Rabbit Creek Drive from RA and B5 to R1 and B5.
Any issue, Reynolds?
No objection.
All right.
Public hearing to consider the modification of a previously approved planning approval for property located at the northwest corner of Loyola and Provident Lanes. Public hearing to consider the modification of a previously approved planned unit development for property located at the northwest corner of Loyola and Provident Lane. Public hearing to consider the modification of a previously approved planned unit development for property located at 5487, 5491, 5495 Hilltop Drive South.
You good, Vice President?
Yeah, these are previously approved.
All right.
Public hearing to declare the structures at 2666 Josephine Street, 616 Pettit Avenue, 560 Cedar Avenue, 310 Rollins Street, also known as 310 Rollins Lane, public nuisances and ordering them demolished. Public hearing to consider the application of Gwendolyn and Darren Clark for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to operate a non-emergency medical transport service. Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Cynthia Duggar. Comments regarding progress of the new animal shelter and offer solutions for stray dogs and cats. Carol Hunt regarding the animal shelter. Jermaine Williams provide information about the Crescent Theater. Sabrina Mask acknowledged the success of Jermaine Williams reopening the Crescent Theater. Ordinances held over 64037. Consider rezoning property located at 720 Museum Drive from R1 to B2. Consent resolutions held over 40, 714, 715, 716, 717 are fixing the cost for demolition of structures on Bishop Avenue, Franklin Drive, and Franklin Drive East. Resolutions held over 08954, approved purchase order to Emergency Equipment Professional for 2 fire pumper trucks. 08955, approved purchase order to Cone for replacement of elevator controller system at Mobile Museum of Art. 08956, approved purchase order to Long Lewis Ford for 3 Ford Bronco SUVs. 08959, approved purchase order to Truck Equipment Sales for Ford F-250 pickup truck. 21962, authorized contract with HCL Contracting for 2024 PAYGO resurfacing. 21963, authorized contract with service, and 21964, authorizing contracts with Southern Earth Sciences, Downtown Optimization, and for 2024 PAYGO resurfacing. 23965, accept D for right-of-way from the Mobile Airport Authority, Michigan Avenue and Raven Drive. 6966.
1 second, Madam Clerk. Mr. Bonner?
Just wanted to highlight for the acceptance of the right-of-way deed. You would have seen in your packet that the structure we're using for that transaction has changed. And instead of using simply the acceptance of a right-of-way deed, we're actually going to utilize an option agreement to acquire that right-of-way deed. And that is being done so that we can comply with a number of grants and grant funding deadlines and requirements that are going into the development of that site and the development of this roadway. So in your packet, the mechanics by which we are effectuating this project have changed. And so that was the one change you would see in your packet that you saw for this meeting versus the packet for your last meeting, was that substitution.
Okay.
And that's all that.
Yeah, this is all related to the MAA North property.
Rich, this is just, this is kind of just a little bit different, but are you following all the happenings at the airport, or is that someone else?
We are, I think we're staying on top of all the happenings at the airport that we can, and what the city is having a role in. You know, this project here is the recreation of the repaving and the widening of the main new entry road that's going into that site. It's really been a great example of partnering for this particular project, because you've had MAA, the city, IDB, and the state all step up to fund what will be a $6 million road rebuild going into this site, and which is going to cost the city $0 as a result. We're combining Growing Alabama credits, industrial access grant credits, seed program credits, and ADECA funds on this site. And it really is probably one of the best examples we've had of partnering for one of these type projects, and where we're not actually having to incentivize a project, but simply utilize the available grant funding sources administered by the state.
Would it be too much to ask if the council could get a brief on where we are with the new airport, its construction and completion and all the details? Is that
Mayor, you want to,
question?
I know you talked to Luckett.
So certainly not too much to ask. I just left the airport meeting and briefly, there was a pause because of the projected overage and the cost. Well, the chairman announced this morning that based on a lot of work that it is now back on budget, but it's not scheduled to open until September. But obviously we can get them to come give you all a more detailed briefing at any time that you want it.
September of next year.
Yeah, September 2026. Yeah. But they a lot of hard work to go from what the projected cost was based on some of the projections to get it back on budget. So kudos to them.
Okay.
Any questions about the project, that this roadway going in? Okay.
Also, council, like the mayor stated, if y'all want to get an update, pretty much we can go out there and just see what's out there so far. If y'all care to do that, just say something.
I think, I guess the mayor was clear in saying that they've got it back within budget. There would not be any ask or any additional request of funding from any other source other than themselves. That's what I'm hearing.
That is not what I said. You can read whatever you want into it. I just said they said it's back on budget and schedule is now September. There was not any other conversation about, the funding and where they stand on that. So I really don't know, but I would agree with the president that if you're going to have a briefing, go out there and meet at the small airport, what do we call it? The
Temporary,
general aviation. And then anyway, it's amazing because the roads are shut down now, like you've been going to get there. You have to go around Perimeter Road to get into it. Because it's well on the way.
If y'all care to, just letting me know, we can get that set up. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
60, 966, 967, and 968 are authorizing settlement agreement and release of claims. Ordinance is being introduced. 64038 is the rezoning on Rangeline Road and Rabbit Creek Drive. 64039 and 64040 and 41 are the considering modifications for the planning approval, previously approved planning approval property on Loyola and Provident Lanes, and the plan unit development on Loyola and Provident Lane, and the plan unit development on Hilltop Drive South. Consent resolutions being introduced, 37,972 and 973 are recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to Empanola Mobile on O'Shea Road, and for issuance of a retail beer, table wine on off-premises license to Lost Pizza Company on O'Shea Road. 974, 975, 976, and 977 are declaring the structures public nuisances and ordering them demolished. 978 honorarily rename a portion of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue to Honorary James E. Buskey Avenue. 979 authorized removal of weeds, group 1665. 980 approval water special bonus to the city clerk's office employee of the month. 981, 982, and 983 are determining appropriations to Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Central Gulf Coast, Marching Cougars Band, Band Booster Club, and Medal of Honor Park serve a public purpose and approve payment. CIP resolutions being introduced, 21,984, authorized contract with H&H Electric for West Side Park ball field lighting improvements, $492,232.
Mr. President,
Mr. Woods.
real quick with this, just for knowledge, is this still kind of the changing the lights out and all, still kind of on for execution in August and September? Or are we, where do we kind of stand on that, I guess?
I never know. Yes, so a couple weeks ago, you would have had, you approved a purchase order to purchase all of the lights and materials for the poles with Musco Lighting. So this contract is actually for the installation of those lights and those poles. So 3 of the fields will have a complete removal of the poles and lights, and then 3 of the fields are just the lights being replaced. Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Resolutions being introduced, 08985, approve item-based bid for surveillance cameras and equipment.
President,
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds.
these, where are these cameras going to be used? Are these the parks cameras that we've been waiting on?
Yeah, these are part of the ongoing project to upgrade all the cameras throughout the city and the parks. We have a priority list. I don't know where these exact cameras are going, but we're working through all our parks and all the cameras to get a complete inventory and get them up and running fiber, getting them on the system.
What would be the big bite initially that we take out of money wise? How much?
This money's already been allocated, was allocated about a month ago, the 400,000 that you guys
So
approved.
400,000 is
Correct.
going to be the initial purchase.
So,
Thank you.
08986, approve purchase order to Classic Paint and Body for wreck damage repairs to Chevrolet Tahoe, $15,613.92. 08987, approve purchase order to Coastal Alabama Community College for summer semester courses, $17,498. 08988, approve purchase order Dana Safety Supply for vehicle upfits, $885,923.55. 08889, approve purchase order to IBM Solutions for herbicide treatment applications on drainage canals and ditches, $98,994.77.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds.
on this herbicide treatment, where are we, is this going to be applied? Is this something we ordinarily do year after year? Lance? This is a public service item. I guess is this a new thing that we're starting to do to spray ditches rather than having to go and do something different?
Good morning. No, we do spraying every year. We usually do 4 cycles. We're hearing we may have to hold on this one because someone is protesting the process, but we do spray herbicide into the ditches as another way to keep the growth down.
Do you know if any of this is going to be done in District 4
Yes, it's throughout the city.
throughout the city?
Yes.
Okay.
I can let you know where we spray because we have those areas.
Sure.
I can give it to each
I think it'd be
district.
very helpful in some areas where we can reduce the amount of cutting we have to do. We have to send the labor crews out if this is possible in some other areas. So I'm good. I'm happy to see it, but just want to make sure that we get the ditches that are constantly
issues.
complained about.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
08990, approved purchase order to Joe Bullard Chevrolet for pickup truck, $60,424. 08991 and 992, approving purchase orders to Long Lewis Ford for 6 Ford Broncos, $186,381, and for 1 Ford Bronco, $30,733.50. 08993 and 994 are approving purchase orders to Sansum Equipment for street sweeper, $174,052, and for a garbage truck, $397,265. 08995, approved purchase order to Stivers Ford for Super Crew pickup trucks, $179,408. 08996, approved purchase order to Target for new flooring for National Maritime Museum, $78,809.41. 08997, approved purchase order to Temple Inc. for traffic signal equipment cabinets, $121,731. 08998, approved purchase order to Ward International for a crew cab box truck, $86,458. 09999, transfer funds from SDW 24 sidewalk allocation for District 7 to Grants Project GTAP Village of Spring Hill to assist with Village of Spring Hill sidewalks, $20,000. 1000, authorized contract with McElhaney Construction for the Innovating St. Louis Street Mobiles Technology Corridor Complete Streets Project, $16,797,719.65.
Mr. Reynolds.
Just for the general public's knowledge, can someone break down for us the funding sources that go into this project? That this is not all city money coming out of the city's coffers necessarily. Good morning. Your mic's not on.
Sorry, I always think red is no. Great question. So this has several pots of money. This has been a collaborative project between the Restore Act, ADCNR, which manages that money, the MPO, which is the money comes through ALDOT, as well as MAS. So the MPO is contributing $2.6 million to construction. There is a city match associated with that, which is $665,000. And then the Restore Act is contributing 10.7 and MAS is 4.2. So this is a utility project with a major utility component.
So this is a great partnership amongst many funding sources to make this project happen, that it's not, just coming out of our, cash reserves for the taxpayer.
That's correct. We've been working on this project for 8 years, design and gathering all the funding that's needed to do the work. It's been a really successful partnership between all of these organizations. A lot of really hard work has gone in through the city, y'all, and all of our partners and the agencies to get to this point where we have the contract on the agenda.
And there's no federal money.
This is federal money.
This is
Correct.
all
2
federal.
pots
The
of federal
Restore
money.
is- okay.
The LDOT money, MPO is federal, and then Restore Act is federal money.
Okay.
Coming through the U.S. Treasury.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Sir.
And just to refresh my recollection, this is St. Louis from where to where?
St. Louis Street from Broad, where we're going to start the project, all the way to Water, 17 blocks.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
31-1001, authorized the mayor to apply, accept, and receive a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice for the fiscal year 25 COPS hiring program, $785,784 match.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is this a new hiring program? Is this something that we already have in place or?
Good morning. This is actually not a new program for the city of Mobile. We currently have a 2020 COPS grant that is in effect. We're closing that one out now. But it will allow us to hire 15 officers for the next 3 years. Then we're required to keep them on for the 4th year. But the match actually comes from the actual salary that would be paid throughout those, our 25% match throughout those 4 years. So it's a really good deal. It's actually $3.2 million total for the 15 officers, pays their benefits, all of that. And it does go in effect from the time that they enter into the training academy all the way through when they're out on the streets.
Awesome. This is great. I'm glad to hear that we'll be able to add more officers and do it through a grant as well. So what is the typical look of when you say hiring program? Is it some type of resources that go out to kind of promote?
So right now, so there are different priority areas that Department of Justice basically allows you to apply for. And so what they have chosen is basically addressing violent crime. And those officers will be trained in basically community de-escalation techniques and moving those into specific areas within the city according to what the needs are, and basically implementing those programs through that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
And could you give us an update on, in terms of officers,
Yes, sir.
police officers, what's our approved head count and what's our current head count?
So our current FSL, our funded staffing level for officers is 492. We believe that by the December class, we will be at or above that. And that's why in the new budget,
That's
there's,
great news. That's great
in
news.
the new budget that there's, we're asking for 24 more officers with a contingency plan in the budget that if we fill those 24 officers, that we can actually go out and get more. So for the first time, we will be at what our funding staffing level is. Great work to Chief Jackson and Tony McCarron, who've been working hard. And thank you guys for the raises that they've gotten over the last couple of years. And we've now been able to attract and retain additional officers.
That's great news, because I know we've been struggling to fill all those positions for a long time. And I know that this didn't, that the reason we are where we are is because a number of different initiatives have been put in place in order to get us here. So great work to everybody that's been involved.
And the fallacy was that we were trying to just reduce officers or not hire officers. That's not the case. It's been a struggle to get qualified officers to apply. And this is it was a nationwide issue. And like I said, we're at the point where we're going to exceed our current staffing level. So thank you.
Mr. President.
Yeah, Ms. Woods.
Hopping back to the COPS grant. So I guess the structure of that is 4 years, there's a federal match. And then after those 4 years, I guess 100% of the salary benefits are assumed by the city. Okay. And then, Mr. Lasky, as far as adding the 24, is that 24 plus this 15, or is that
Part
just
of it.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, thank you.
37-1002, consider the application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to operate a non-emergency medical transport service. Call for public hearings. 41-1003, call for public hearing to consider rezoning property located at 4421 Government Boulevard from R1 to B3, scheduled August the 27th. Announcements.
Vice President.
Yeah, let's go over what we can waive the rules on. They are 08, 986, 987, 992, and 999. There were no ordinances today, so just the resolutions.
Any objections? All right.
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
I would like to ask the Omega Lamplighters to stand. They are here with us for a combo with Corey. Can we give these young men a big hand? They're here to learn more about our government leadership And that's a major part of moving forward our city is encouraging our young people to be actively and engaged. And so what I'm asking everybody here is, if you haven't had the opportunity to mentor someone in your area, if you're an engineer, whatever role you in the city, let's try to bring another young person along and encourage them. And if you need some assistance in that area, let me know. I know a lot of young people who like to know more how city government is ran. And so again, Omega Lamplighters, thank y'all so much for being here today.
Yeah, welcome. Okay. Anything else from this council? Council, I did receive a request this morning to make sure that meeting lasts longer. Suntree said today was her birthday. She don't have anything else to do. So she want us to make sure that meeting lasts a little bit longer today. All right. Anything from the administration? Yeah. All right. All right. We'll see each other then. What time? Now. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll see each other at 10:30 downstairs in Atrium.